Hi and welcome to the Martin Bell Show. Hopefully you've been keeping well, and in today's video we're going to have another news review where I'm going to be going through one of the newspapers. This time it's from the Daily Mail. It's in the finance section. Most of mine are always going to be in the finance section, maybe if sometimes in other areas if it's related to finance, but generally we're going to be in the business section. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the vaccines. Arstsrazenca's vaccine hopes gives investors a shot in the arm for the first trading of 21. So it says here stock markets started the new year with a big bang and hopes for Arstsrazenca's vaccine fueled by a rally on the first trading day of 21. The FTSE 100, which is the top 100 publicly traded companies within the United Kingdom, and they are still very international as well, because you have companies like obviously Arstsrazeneca, Shell, BP, Unilever, really big companies. So where was I? Yeah, in them what seems and what also the first session since Brexit. As Brian Pinker, an 82-year-old dialysis patient, became the first person to receive the COVID jab developed by Oxford University AstraZeneca early yesterday morning. Traders are anticipating a robust recovery for the economy, and I really do hope so. We have seen good recovery. So once we get a hold of it more, I think we will make a good recovery. It may take a little bit of time, obviously, for jobs to come back, but eventually everything will recover in the end, because it always has in the past, and it will eventually in the future. It just may take longer than we would like. So traders are anticipating a robust recovery from the economy and leading companies over the next few months. Despite gloom about past spreading new mutations, the prospect of future lockdowns. We are in another lockdown at this moment in time. Russ Mould, investment director at AJ Bell. I think they're a good company, and I have got an account with them. Added, for now, investors clearly believe that the vaccine will provide a catalyst for a big recovery. Perhaps after a tough first quarter. Excuse me. But he added that getting enough of the population inoculated will be a big logistical challenge. AstraZeneca shares, which have been lackluster, gained around, rising about 1.3% or 98 pence to £74.22, I think that is, or was that £7.42? One or the other. The bullish, big difference there though. The bullish start to the year was helped by the last-minute Brexit deal on Christmas Eve, covering trade in goods. Joshua Mahoney, senior market analyst at IG Group, said, while there is typical plenty of speculation over the Brexit could look like, but deals focus on goods over services means that it may take some time to truly gauge how much or impact this breakup will have upon the economic growth prospects. The FTSE bounce comes after it suffered the worst year since the financial crisis, which would be 2008, where the housing market did collapse. But we did recover in the end, and I completely missed that bull run in 2008. I didn't have the knowledge to invest back then, and I was in different assets classes as well back then. Or invest in the stock market, that was. In 2020, the blue chip index lost more than 14% of its value, and basically you got it at a more bargain rate if you bought it at its dip. If you bought it and held it and it recovered, and you made your money back, and then eventually you're going to get more future income if you bought the distributing ETF, which is the one I have got. I didn't go for the accumulating one because I don't want to sell out of my position to get hold of the money. I'd rather it drip a bit off, and if I need to sell off I can. So it gives me more flexibility and more options there. So many of the biggest rises yesterday were miners, as commodity prices are also shot higher on hopes of a recovery. That's true. Precious metals will be going up, because of uncertainties in the market, and obviously once certainty comes back in and stability recovers, depending on how we're going to reduce debt to GDP and other factors like that, gold may eventually dip back down again. But I don't see personally it dipping below like its lows as it has been. So in 2020 the blue chip index lost more than 14% of its value. Many of the biggest rises yesterday were miners as commodity prices were shocked. Well, I just read that. The FTSE smashed through 6,600 mark in the early trading, but some gains were pared back and blue chips index closed up at 1.7%. There's no point worrying about short-term noise. There's going to be fluctuations in the market. Things go up, things go down, but if you look at a long historical trend, generally the FTSE 100 is on a positive uptrend. See if I can do that. Let's go to Google, shall we? Let's go to Google. FTSE 100, shall we? And there we go. We'll go max. If you see, right back in 1984, it was at 1,000, and today we're at 6,500. You can see here in 1999 we had the dot-com bubble, 2008 housing crash, and then we have the coronavirus. So as you can see, it hasn't dipped below the other ones. So I'm thinking we will make a good recovery, personally, over the long period of time. We're not talking months or a few years, maybe like pushing to 5 to 10 years out. But if you're investing short term for like a few years, personally you shouldn't be investing in the stock market. You should be investing in other lower risk items, personally. For the FTSE smash through the 6,600 market in early trading, but some gains were pared back and blue chips index closed up 1.7% or 111 points, 0.36 at 6,571.88 as Boris Johnson prepared to bring new tougher COVID restrictions in. The FTSE 250, which is the top 250 publicly traded companies within the United Kingdom, and some of them are still very international as well, made strong gains in early trades, but also closed up 0.2% as well. Excuse me, or 49.5 points to 20,537.89. As investors in the UK focused index braced for the hike in COVID rules, analysis were also buoyed by upbeat manufacturing figures from the PMI tracker produced by data group IHS Markit, which showed the factory's activity grew in December for the fastest pace at any point over the last 3 years. However, they added that the delays as batch reports and other logistical distributions mean supply chain delays are also lengthened, to an extent rarely since the survey began. The US markets were sharply lower mid-session, with the Dow Jones down 1.8, and overall the FTSE S&P 500 S&P 500 is up overall. Up overall, S&P. We go to max. As you can see, if we go to 1 year to date, overall it's on an upward trend. If you can see the 6 months, we have pretty much recovered. Obviously depending on how the virus goes, and also there's the uncertainty with the elections, without getting too political. Once the transition period happens and then there's more certainty in America, then the markets may go further up in the S&P 500. So let's do a little refresh to see if anyone's posted any comments. They generally are quite toxic, some of them, and not well thought out, or very highly emotional, which is sometimes is understandable, but sometimes it's good to think things through before posting. But anyway, if hopefully you've had a good day and you found this video informative. Hopefully we do get to recover soon, and then we all get to spend some time in the near future when it's safe to do so with family and friends, and that we have good celebrations once this virus is over. So if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more news and by me, and please feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you click the bell notification button, you get notified when I next release a video. And it won't just be news and investing, where what I've just bought and this and that, or finance, different things in finance. I also do play video games where we do relax and just play video games, and sometimes we play video games and we talk about finance, or yeah, so that's overall, it's looking good. So I hope everyone's been keeping well, and hopefully this year will be better. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.